to start with a lot of good news. It's really nice to hear that there are a lot of upgrading of our journey is happening in Terahat because I am seeing it almost this is the third year. So it's nice to hear. And I think November 20th was my first Zoom meeting in 2020.
Wow.
So imagine 2021 or 2022, it's already the third year. There's a lot of beautiful things happening. And it's good that we are all as a partner and as a family, we all able to share. And then, people around are every week coming down to listen and then, to know what exactly is the topic all about and then how we are able to. And with that challenge for me also, can you believe when I'm talking about channel of life and water? I don't know. I just put it across and then I had really tough time until afternoon. I didn't know what was how do I link our water, life, everything. But to an extent, I managed, and it's amazing that the divine has been guiding me to get all these beautiful things. So
Yeah.
with the divine guidance only,
Interesting.
I'm able to, just pick all the information and then share it with every one of you down there. Now, basically, if you look at the channels, there is the water channel, that we have the radio channel, then we have the TV channel, YouTube channel, the spirit channel. Now, this is something not many of you would know, like especially the mediums. You can call it in Malaysia, they call it as pomos. They are the spiritual mediums. They use the spirits, and their body is a medium for them to connect to the spirits, which comes inside their body, and then they will start speaking. Now, that's a very beautiful science by itself, and a lot of things are happening on this planet Earth where people do go and seek a lot of guidelines and advices. Now, then, of course, we do have our terahertz distributor channel. Now, this is something, it's just growing day by day and day by day. Now, this is what we need to understand, that unless there is a portal, there should be a portal for us to, communicate, a portal for us to move in, a portal for us to send from one to another place. There needs to be a channel or a portal, you can call it. So in that way, this whole universe, the whole human race, we are all connected through this channel of energies. Now, we are all connected with each other through the channel of energies, which is another amazing subtle subject. And then not many of us understand that we are basically an energy ball or an energy living mass. And how much is our energy? How do we keep our energies positive? How do we utilize this energy, and how do we retain the energy which we have absorbed from the cosmic, be it positive or be it the unfavorable vibrations we are talking. But at the end of the day, there is a channel. In fact, in our body system also, we have the chakras, we have the auric layers. So there is a channel system through which the energy passes, and then we are all able to, move in. The energy moves in and out, wherein there is a lot of beautiful connectivity. Even when you're talking about telepathy, it's a way of connecting. It's a channel through the energies we get connected. So saying that, why in life we must channelize our path in a particular pathway. We all have to channelize. But if you do not channelize, or we do not have a particular portal of life, then definitely we are like, it's like, a fish out of water, where you don't know what you're doing, you don't even know where you're going. So in that way, why do we channelize is basically to make it easy for you to walk in that path. You can give different names, like you focus, you have a goal, you have a path of life. All these, there are different names. So channeling is also a name. Something, it can be a synonym with other parts also. So only you have to do that because you have a particular goal to achieve. So when you have a particular goal, you need to have a proper channel. You need to go through that channel. That is all. Like for example, in an organization, when there is an administrative situation where someone writes a letter to another person, there is a proper channel. You cannot directly write a letter to a managing director. There will be a process. You need to go through the HR. So there is a channel. Always I remember whenever we write a official letter, we used to write through proper channel. So that means it has to go through a proper methodology. So channeling is basically a proper methodology. So you have your own pace of speed to walk when you have your own channel. And at the end of the day, what is that? You have your own discipline. Now, this is where, see, you may have a channel, but if you don't have any discipline, you cannot move forward. So there needs to be a discipline in whatever you're doing. So you need to take responsibility in whatever focus or whatever goals you have looked into. So to move forward, you need to have a proper discipline and a proper responsibility for you to move forward. And then your specific needs can be fulfilled if you have a proper channel. So basically, what are we trying to do is we are trying to make things a little more convenient, because the idea of basically channeling is to make it more convenient. So you need to channelize so that you can make things more convenient. So saying that, what happens is we all need to understand that channeling your life plays a very, very important role. Like, for example, what you see there, there is the path is bifurcated into two. If it is bifurcated into three or four, then what you need to do is you need to decide exactly where you need to move forward, either right or left. And especially this problem, I think most of you would have faced in your regular, if you're using the Waze or our maps, Google Maps. It will say go straight and take a left turn. But on the map, when you see, the arrow will be to the right turn. Now, would you be taking right turn or left turn? Because the wording, the message it gives is left turn, but the arrow on your phone shows is right. There are a lot of confusions will happen on this planet Earth, and this is where your wisdom comes in, and your experience, your expertise, everything plays a very, very important role. And this is where proper channeling. Now, what I would say is, if you want to go to a particular place, and then before going, you need to look into the map before you even go there. What are the landmarks available in that particular place. And then when you are going through, if possible, the addressee, you can ask them what are the important landmarks, so that you can go there very easily. Because at the end of the day, you imagine you're going for a particular important meeting, and you're just trusting your Waze or your Google map, and it will go on taking round and round and round, and then ultimately you will not reach that place. So many times it does happen. So this is where we need to have a proper planning of it. So what happens if at all you want to channelize your life? What does it require? It requires a discipline. Very, very simple. It requires a discipline. Now, number two, it requires a dedication. Dedication to what? Whatever you want to do, you need to have a proper dedication. Perseverance. You need to be perseverant in that particular path of channel, so that you will be able to move forward. Then focus has to be there. Focus means you can't be switching over from one situation to another situation to another situation. You go on like a monkey wandering. If you go on doing that, definitely your path of walking on the channel or in the way of the channel will not happen. Then, very important, as I was telling you, the maps, your Google Maps, wisdom to decide. Now, you need to decide whether you need to go left or right. That is where your decision comes in. See, many times we find it very difficult to even make a proper decision. Like sometimes what happens, someone will come and talk to you about the water, and they'll say this water is very good, this can do this. A lot of positive things when they do, but you are not able to decide. What do you do? Because there are out there a lot of other water filters available, but many of them do not understand that whatever Terra has resonated water is not something like a filter. It is a resonator. So this is where what happens is, you as a person, if you are channelizing this particular information to your clients, to your friends or relatives, you need to have appropriate knowledge. So without having knowledge, you will not be able to move forward. You will not be able to channelize the right information to the people, so that they know what to do. So very, very important is, whenever you are conveying the message, they need to understand whatever you are speaking, and they need to understand what exactly is this water all about, what is this device all about, and how good is the water when you consume, what are the benefits you will get by drinking the water. But what happens is, when you start giving the benefits of the water, automatically people will jump into the disease portion. People, because see, in the world, if you look at around 10 to 15% of the people, we all are having some disease or the other disease. This is the disease pattern of the universe. But there are a lot of other people, around 70 to 80% of the people, who are subclinically unhealthy. Now, whenever you speak, what happens is you will be seeing people who have some diseases, some problem or the other they will have. So whenever you are talking to such kind of people, you need to be a little more clear in your conveying the message of this particular water device and the water, so that they understand the importance of the device and the water, so that they buy the device and utilize the water to the extent where they become more healthier. Now, when that is the focus of life, it becomes easy for them to pick the machine, and then they will invest in the machine and they will buy the water. But the moment we start giving an affirmation wherein we talk to them and tell them that this person's diabetes was cleared and that person's blood pressure was cleared, this person's skin disease, yes, we can give all the examples. But for your good luck, this particular person after drinking the water may not have that benefit, because there might be other situations where the body is not trying to compromise, or the body requires something else, maybe some vitamins, maybe some nutrition, maybe some detox. So it depends on each individual. So in that way, if at all you want to channelize your life, you need to have all these basic rules wherein you need to have a discipline, dedication, perseverance, focus, wisdom of to decide, and appropriate knowledge. This is also very, very important, because without the knowledge, you will not be able to move forward. But at the end of the day, you can read as many books as possible to acquire the knowledge. You can pick up from the Google, you can pick up from your websites. But at the end of the day, the wisdom of utilizing that information and the knowledge plays very, very important is you have to decide. So ultimately, it is you who have to decide whether that particular information in what way has to be channelized and how to be given into the particular customer. Now, just imagine when there is a multi-channeling, is it practically possible for you? Definitely in life, when you have multiple channels, like it's like multiple choices. Many times we get confused, isn't it? Just imagine you have a multiple choice question of just 4 answers and one question. Even there also, many of us will get confused. So this is where, when you're talking about real practical aspects of life, we need to channelize into a single path. A single path is much more easier, but you may have another path as an alternative, but if fails, then you go to the alternative. So whatever focusing of your let's talk about business. If you're talking about business, and then let's talk about our terahertz device, and then you want to channelize this into a business. So when you want to channelize this into a business, what is the basics protocols for this particular business would be is to to know, number one, about the device. Where is it available? How do you purchase it? What are the, like what Madam Lee was telling regarding the that our installment facilities, wherein you can use a debit card, credit card, and these are the newer information which we are getting it now, which will make a little more easier. Actually, even today when I was talking to someone, they were asking me whether there is any installment facilities. I did tell them that it is available. So like this, what you need to do is you need to channelize the information appropriately so that they are able to. Then you need to give the person the required brochure for them to go through it or read it. Then the third thing is you can actually give them a sample of water for them to drink and experience the goodness of water. See, one of the most important like sharing what the people will do is, after they drink the water, they will just say, yeah, I can feel a little bit, taste is different. I feel the water is a little soft, and I feel the water when I swallow it goes in easily. Like this, there will be some kind of sharing which they will give. This is good enough that they're able to, feel the change, and then they're able to feel the difference of the water. And so like that, you need to give them information. So you need to channelize the information in such a way that things are made much more easier. And the other part is very, very important is whenever we are talking about the pricing, and the moment you say 4,800 for one device, of course, they will look at this model or look at our device and say, what, it looks like an iron box, and then it's so expensive. Is it so expensive? But actually speaking, when you're looking at the model of our business plan, it's so easy that you buy it, you use it, and then when you share this information with another three people, automatically what happens is those three people, when they buy, and then when you put them under you, automatically you get back your 4,500 whatever you invested. So what happens? That means the device becomes free for you. Now this is the first way of helping the person to understand that there is something like where you can gain back the moment you share. See, at the end of the day, many a times we notice that we would be sharing a lot of information, especially like, for example, you go to a particular restaurant and you come back, and then the food is so good that you go and tell another friend, and the friend goes there, he has the food there. What kind of benefit will you get just because you recommended that particular restaurant? You don't get any benefit. So like this, what happens is there are many situations where you may not get any benefit out of it. But at the end of the day, goodness has to be shared. It doesn't mean that every time it has to be equated with the money. So it is something certain times you have to just share it. But here, what has happened is in terahertz, our this one, definitely the moment you recommend and they buy it, definitely there is a benefit out of the product. When they buy, you get back your money. So that is something wonderful. And after that, every time, whenever they buy, definitely there is a benefit you get. So like this, when you channelize the information of our terahertz and the resonator, the water, and when you give them a in a methodical manner, and then when you invite them to our Zoom meetings for them to come and listen to what we are talking, and then what are the benefits. So life becomes much more easier for us to move forward when it is properly portaled or properly channelized. So in that way, we need to work on many areas. So what exactly is channeling is basically facilitating from point A to point B. It's basically channelizing. So that's what we are doing. In fact, there are, if you're looking at water, there are around 47, 47 different names given to different positions of the water, like channeling. Water channels is one name out of the 47. So like that, there are different names. I thought I wanted to let know you all this, but then I thought this is 47 names and not necessary for terahertz right now. So I just didn't pick it up and put it as a slide. So basically, it's facilitating from one point to another point is channelizing. Now, channelizing begins every day. Now, this is something very simple, which from the time you wake up, what exactly is your you're doing. How do you channelize your routine? How do you channelize your thoughts? How do you channelize your work schedule? And how do you channelize your mind, which is something like wandering very easily? We get disturbed very easily. So this is where the proper channeling, even though when there is a distraction, what do? We bring it back to the center of our focus. Just like in the pendulum of our wall clock. Can you see it goes to the left and come back to the center? It goes to the right and comes back to the center. So that means the center is the focus of life. So pendulum indicates that most of the time we as human beings, we also get diverted by our focus diverting to another place, and then once again we have to come back. So in that way, if you're looking at the business part of it, there will be a lot of I would say competition, especially when you're going to talk to people about this resonated water, and they will tell, no, I have a filtered water, I have been drinking, I don't have any problem, I'm drinking ionized water, I'm drinking hydrogen water, so why should I drink this resonated water? So like this, there will be definitely situations where people will give their own what do you say, their own situations where it may not be congenial for you to promote your product, but it's okay. Now this is where there are situations where your knowledge of this product, if it is good, and if you know how to let them know exactly how it can benefit with their existing whatever device. If they have an ionizer, the only situation is when you ionize your ionized water, when you resonate it with our terahertz device, it becomes a much more smaller molecule, because an ionized water has a molecular size of only 53 to 55, which is quite a big size of it. So when you resonate that water, it becomes 7.6, which is definitely beneficial. So in that way, that is how you should know what are the pros and cons when you are talking to your customer, and then you should know how to handle the situation. Now, worst come worst, what will happen? They may not be interested in the product. It is still okay. So what will happen? You should say thanks to them because they gave you an opportunity for you to give your sharing about this particular water. And it's not that you speak to 100 people and all the 100 people will buy the product. In reality, if you speak to 100 people, maybe 2 people will buy the product, or maybe 3 people, or even 10 people. It's still good, but you need to speak to the 100 people before. So the sharing of channelization or channeling of your information or the knowledge has to be for the 100 people. So that means your focus should be so clear that you need to be walking right straight through. And if today this is not working, go to the next. So you need to have different modalities for you to channelize yourself and move forward. Now, what can we do in terahertz this business? We can be a channel for terahertz resonator to reach to many souls out there. Now, be it in the form of how? Educating on the water. Because many times I notice that the moment we start speaking that there is something called resonated water, and then the benefits are like this, this. The moment they say, yeah, oh, is it? Uh, is something like this available? Can the water be an antibacterial? Can it function like an antiviral? Can it function like an anti-aging? That's where you say, yeah, that's what we have. That's what this device all about. So educating on water, and it's important. So whether you sell the product or whether it's a resonator or not, it doesn't matter. But are you educating them? So you be the channel for educating them. Now, why not you be the channel? There are a lot of people where they cannot buy the device. It's still okay, but can you give them free water to them? Yes, you can do that. If it's within your limited resources where you can give them free, why not? You should give them free. But if it is a minimal charges you want to, definitely you can charge them a minimal for your basic expenses. You can charge them. So that is another point. Now, helping to buy the resonator. So the moment they decide, okay, fine, I will buy the resonator, that's when you should know how to contact whom, how to contact the company, get back to the company, how about the payment module, everything you should be able to help them to buy the resonator. And of course, inviting to the our terahertz Zoom health talk, which is there, as Madam Lee was telling, all through the whole week, we do have that facility. So whether it's a Chinese, whether it's a Bahasa Melayu, or it's in the English, it doesn't matter. Just invite them, let them come, listen, and then, that will be a basic situation where we are helping them. So you be the channel. It can be in any different form, but be a channel. So saying that, what happens is definitely we need to look into this. What is happening? Our body has to channelize the water from the source to the cell. Now, what do I mean by channelizing? You just drink the water. So what happens? The water has to go inside your stomach, then to your intestine. So it starts absorbing. So once it goes into the absorbing situation where it goes into your bloodstream, and then the cells carry the your water molecule, and then it has to go into the cell along with the water molecule. What will happen is the vitamins, the minerals, oxygen, all this has to be carried along. So it has to be channelized properly through the system for it to go to the cell. Now, if there is an excess water, what will happen? The excess water has to come out through the kidneys in the form of a urine. Now, this is all something which you and I don't even look into it, but our body is doing it day in and out. It is doing that beautiful function, and then we don't even know that this the water you drink goes into the cell. How many of you would have even thought when AD is doing the blood survey, or the other doctors who are doing the blood check, and one drop of blood, you see the cells are all clumped, and then after that you drink the water, 15 minutes, you're going and seeing the cells are so hydrated, moving so fast, so beautiful. How is that possible? So unless the water is channelized through the system appropriately, the water cannot go reach there. So in nature, everything is channelized. Like the rainwater coming via the river, it gets channelized into the river, comes down and goes back to the sea. It is channelized. It's a nature's way of doing things. So somehow when you look at everything on this planet Earth is channelized for a particular way for it to move forward, to move and then go front. We all have to move forward. So in that way, when you channelize yourself, you will move forward. With channeling, if you are not putting any efforts to looking for more information, looking for your goal to move forward, looking for yourself to uplift yourself, Your channel, you can create a channel for you to move forward, but you won't be able to move forward because in universe everything is changing. Everything is changing for a reason. So in that way you also need to change, and you also need to accept that there are sometimes situations where you need to upgrade your knowledge, and then you need to know more information about the particular product. That is how you are able to move forward. So saying that once your organs are from cell level to tissue level to organ level to from to human level, this is a very basic four stages of situation. Now, we are a drop in the ocean. Yes, we all know that we are just a drop in the ocean, and we begin our journey from a single cell, that is a sperm, and a single cell, which is an ovum. How many of you can even think of it? From two beautiful things when it combines together, and then that time it is only a cell. From the cell, how did it channelize to become a huge human being, a big organism like this? How did it happen? Isn't that a very beautiful feeling that nature has created such a wonderful mechanism for it to grow? So when it has created such a wonderful mechanism, what mechanism are you creating? What the mechanism are you doing for you to channelize your expertise, your knowledge, and your experience? How are you channelizing? How are you sharing it? How are you moving forward in it? So we are only a tiny speck of being. We are only a tiny speck. Yes, very, very true. So, and we are very, very perishable. This is also something very important. We are perishable being. One mosquito bites you, that's it. Automatically with dengue fever, malaria, whatever diseases, you name it and you die. But what is happening is we are all channelized to be a human being from the spirit world. Now, this is something, after we don't have a body, we go back to the spirit world. We don't have a body there. Now, how is that from there? We are all coming back here. There must be a channel, there must be a medium for us to come down, get inside the body, into the womb, and then, start once again another life down here on earth. So there is some channeling happening here. So when you look at on this planet earth, there's a lot of channeling happening. There's a lot of dedicated servers being there for us to get the things channelized and move forward. Saying that without water we all cannot do anything, so we need to make this water as an integral part of our body, because without water we cannot live. But with water there are a lot of benefits you can have, and the good news is we all are able to survive. So we are here to drink water to for our existence. This is something which you need to understand. We are here on planet earth and you drink water for your existence. Now, during the existence, when you have a particular disease or a particular problem in your body, and if it gets benefited by getting cured, it is wonderful. Say thank you to the water. But by chance, if it is not, you still can continue drinking the water because you're still supposed to drink water. Now, drinking an appropriate amount of water with the right properties is very, very, and the molecular structure is very, very important for your body, because that is when your body can heal itself. So if a body can heal itself, you need to assist the body. So this is where we are talking about healthy means heal thyself. Healthy is heal thyself. Now, what is the importance of water? Water, of course, there needs to be a channel for it to do the various functions. What all it can do, as I already told you, like what you see in the photograph here, the cell is there, and the nutrients like the oxygen, the nutrients, then all the other things are being carried from the outside to the inside of the cell. And also the water allows the body to absorb or assimilate minerals, your vitamins, your amino acids, your glucose, and other substances. So water plays such an important role. It carries. Then it flushes out the toxins. This is another. See, you have a waste product. If it doesn't go out, then toxins. Now, many of us don't understand that if you are around 50 years old, for the past 50 years, you have been eating food, and how many times have you detoxed yourself? This is something which we don't normally do. We think that going to toilet itself is a big detoxification. That's what we think. But that is your normal, what I would say is your normal routine. That's a body routine wherein you're passing urine and your bowel habits is normal. But what are the toxic waste which are getting accumulated in your kidneys or your liver or your intestines? How are you going to clean them? Certain things will be stuck. So this is where water plays a very, very important role. And especially I have seen in my practice wherein a person drinking our Terra's resonated water, and after a day or two, they will be passing all motion, which is like black in color. It can be smelly. Some people will have diarrhea, lose motions, diarrhea, lose motions. So all these can happen. That means there is a detoxification happening. So in a common man's terminology, people will say it is a healing crisis. I wouldn't say it is a healing crisis. It's a way the body responds. So in that way, it is pushing out the toxins out of the body. Like some people may have, after drinking the water, may have acne. I mean, the pimples on your face, you can see. Because there is something which normally we need to understand. There are four ways of your body removing the toxin. One is through your bowel habits. Number two, your urine. Number three, through the respiration. Number four is through the skin. So skin, if it is going to come out, what happens? Automatically, it can show in the form of an itchy sensation because it's coming out through the skin. If it is just itchy and then you feel okay, right? But if it is coming on your face, and especially for women, if it comes on the face, that's like a nightmare for them. They will feel, what the heck is happening? I've been okay, my face was okay, and suddenly after drinking this water, my face all bloomed up with so many pimples. Yes, this is where you need to understand that there might be, what I'm telling you is probabilities I'm talking. Probably the person, the detoxification needs to be looked into because the liver may have a lot of toxins. So it needs to be detoxified. So if liver has a lot of toxins, the chances are this kind of pimples can have more. Dark skin under your eyes, one of the reasons for your uh, liver not okay. That means liver has. See, most of us, we will be having lead poisoning, mercury poisoning, then cadmium. Very simple is these three with aluminum. Now, these are the very, very simple toxic heavy metals which collects in your body without your knowledge, because many times it goes in a micro form which you don't see with your eyes, but it goes inside your body. So this is where we all have to understand that detoxification, especially when you're drinking water like Taraj water, chances are very high that it is trying to detoxify. Now just imagine the same person when they drink other normal water, the pimple didn't come out. So what's happening? They're drinking the other normal water they didn't have. But the moment they're drinking terahertz water, that is when they are facing a situation where the pimples is coming out. This is what is you need to understand that this is an augmented mechanism of action by the terahertz. That's the first. That is the I would say the power of this particular water. That is the quality of this water. That is the property of this water, where it will go and detoxify. Basically, water will detoxify, but this water will detoxify much more easily because of the molecular size. It does help our body for regulating the temperature. Then, of course, it helps your joints, your lubrication of joints, your eyes, everything. So, in that way, it helps a lot. So, water plays such an important role in its journey that you need to drink average appropriate amount of water every day without fail. In this picture, you can see one big beautiful cell you see, and you see the blood vessel there, and you see in between there is some space and then the cell. Now what happens is waters, electrolytes and other things go inside the cell. Can you believe a cell, how many liters of water is available inside? 25 liters of water. Now I'm talking about the whole body. So hydration plays a very, very important role in our uh, body, but at the same time overhydration also is definitely not a good idea, and the patient can have difficulty in breathing. Some heart patients can have a little bit of difficulty in breathing as well, palpitation. All this can happen if it is overhydrated as well. But most of the time our body can balance the situation wherein how much of water. Now if 25 liters of water is supposed to be there inside all the cells of your whole body, and you're not drinking sufficient amount of water, so what happens? The cell gets dehydrated. If the cell gets dehydrated, where is the DNA? It is there inside your cell. If the DNA is inside the cell, and then what happens is dehydration has already happened, and by chance the water molecule which you are drinking, the water, the normal water, and it has picked up some heavy metals and it is coming near that particular cell, it will go inside and then it gets clogged inside. This heavy metal by itself will be giving some wrong information to the DNA. It's like conveying the message, hello, you do this, do this, do this. Anyway, I am the only one correct, so you do. So what the DNA will do is it will pick up the information from this heavy metal and then start sending signals in such a way that it sends out the gene expression, which we call it as, and all the wrong information. So each cell, when they start working like this, what can happen? Something like cancer you're talking, it can happen. Some like bacterial diseases can happen. Now it all starts from one cell. It is not that jumping out of the blood vessel it is happening. No, the cell inside. From there only everything, every problem begins at the cell level only. So we need to be so careful that we need to balance everything. But because we are such a huge, big organism, we don't even feel that what's happening in the cell, and we don't even bother to, what I would say is, be concerned about drinking the ideal amount of water for us to, balance it. Then your food habits. What kind of food are you eating? What kind of vegetables are you eating? Of course, whether you like it or not, vegetables also has a lot of pesticides, poisons involved in it. If you're eating animal meat, their animals are also fed with a lot of antibiotics. They are also bombarded with so many other boosting situations wherein even a chicken which is supposed to grow by 6 weeks, today it grows by 3 weeks. So that means the weight becomes so huge that within 3 weeks chicken comes to the market, slaughtering house, it comes down there. So like this, we are facing a lot of issues on the planet Earth, but I would say we all need to know what you are doing. You should know where to cut down, where to balance it, and where to easily, you know, easily, I would say, understand what your body is speaking to you. Now, once again, channel and channel and channel, we are talking now water channel. See, can you see the water channel called aquaporin was discovered by Peter Agre in the year 1992, and he got a Nobel Prize in 1993. Now, channel is, can you see on the right side, you see a beautiful, that's called the aquaporin. And there is, on the other side, can you see water diffusion by the liquid diffusion slow movement? It just transforms from here to here, it will come down. But the best is coming through the channel is to our pores. You imagine our 7.6 hertz frequency of the water is so small that it can just slide in. Now, why it can slide in? Because the viscosity of this particular molecule is minus 680. So isn't it good for us? So the water channels, God created it directly for us at the cell level. We are talking about aquaporin channel in one cell I'm talking. So imagine if you have 50 trillion cells, we have 50 trillion channels in our cell. Now, in that way, if it is one cell has got one channel aquaporin, it's still okay. But normally, a cell will have multiple of channels for it to allow the water to go inside. So it is something, an amazing, marvelous, magnificent cellular mechanism where God created this, and nobody knows how it was done. Nobody knows how it was done. How beautifully the water molecule goes inside, and then after that, when the cell finishes its function, how beautifully it comes out. All the waste products, and nobody knows. How many of you all know that even the bowel habits, whatever we are having, bowel movements, we eat the food, but like I always will say, you eat apple and next day it becomes like this. Now, how does it become your waste product? How does it happen? How did our body pick all the vitamins? Who gave the intelligence that it has to be done? It has to go through this mechanism, and then it should be able to pick up all the vitamins. We don't tell anything, but it is an automated mechanism. Why? Because everything has a channelized methodology and it has a proper channeling. It is done. So this is where we have a resonator. Now, even our resonator, if you see the center of it, there is a small 6 holes down there, and then from through the hole only, the terahertz radiation happens. Now, it is also channelizing. it is also getting channelized. The light gets channelized onto the focus of the water. It comes out there. So today we have something to create water molecule in the form of a, what is that? So small that it can enter into the water channel. It is something very beautiful. Now this is the third year. We are all so gifted that we are able to drink this water. But out there with 7.8 million people, as of today only, I would say around 40,000 people have purchased this resonator and they're all using this. So what is happening? The world is still open. The business is still open. There's a lot of things we all can do. So it has resonated also. It has its own channel and it creates it. Now, what is the property of the low frequency resonating molecule is it is linear. That means it's very, very single lane, single channel. It becomes much more easier for the water molecule to go inside. But what happens to the terahertz device? What does it do? It emits 0.96 terahertz, actually terahertz. And the molecular width of water is around 2 nanometers, and the frequency of water is different as 7.6 is our frequency. Now we resonated the water. So what? What is the big deal about it? This is where we need to understand. This is the information of knowledge which is very, very important. Our water can, this particular resonated water is an antibacterial. Now, who gave the certificate? The company has already done a research and they found that 89% of the E. coli bacteria is already reduced. That's very good. Then the same thing goes with the antiviral. So that means if you're talking about COVID infection and all, when they drink this water, definitely it will have a beneficial effect because it will help your immune system to move forward. And it will be able to help our body to improve your immune system as well. Good enough. Because once your hydration is good, automatically your, what do you say, your immune system will get boosted up. Other than that, can you see the antifungal effect is almost 79%, then antioxidant effect. That means it can donate the oxygen molecule to your body, which is almost 78%. And anti-radiation, it's almost 0.08 hours, and a non-treated is 0.13. It's a little longer when you don't treat the water. So anti-radiation, low viscosity, that means minus 680. Angulation, we all know that our water molecule has an angle of 0.104 degree is our water angulation. But the moment we resonate, it increases by 5 degrees. So from 0.4, it can go up to 0.789. So up to 0.19, and anything between 106 to 109, it is called live water. Live water. That means it has got the essence of elixir of life, wherein it's the power of penetration, the power of healing, the power of giving the good benefits of the water. Everything happens between that 106 to 109. And what happens is definitely a hard water become reduced to soft water. That's why when you drink our terahertz resonated water, it's in your mouth it will be very, very soft and supple, something like that. And your absorption of minerals will be much, much better if you're talking about drinking the terrace water. And can you believe anti-aging effect by reducing all the toxic effects of the pollutants? I'm talking about, I just shared you the information of the cell and then, the damaging effect on the DNA. So when you have a good hydration, everything changes. Your body will correct itself according to the requirement, and then the gene expression will be something different. And it is supposed to lengthen your telomere. Telomere is basically your length of life. That means, so it is basically anti-aging. You can call it as an anti-aging facility where your cells can live a little longer. So when the telomere is a little longer, but telomere is something which will start reducing as you age older and older. So automatically it becomes shorter. And one fine day when it is so small that your body cannot take it up anymore, it cannot divide. So when your cells cannot divide, then that means death is the final outcome. So imagine if a person is dying, that means the 50 trillion cells in our body is all shutting down, and then the body stops working. It is not just for you and me. We all understand that the person had a heart attack and then he died. He died in the sleep. But the body has been working with the 50 trillion. They are all as one team. They will be working together. And a stage will come when everything stops and the cell starts shutting down. This is where death comes. So the cell death is the first thing to happen, and that is when which leads to the whole body death. And also it augments the energy system. Now this is something very interesting for me because I'm interested in doing a lot of research in energy fields. So especially when I spray this around the people's this one, and when I check the measurement, you can see automatically the my dowsing rod will open up fully. So this is something very, very important. So when you are going to spray this energy regularly, definitely your energy fields also will be very good. And it also will cleanse your energy from other unfavorable vibrations. If it is there, this will definitely help you to uh, make your vibration a little more stronger. Other than that, it does help the epigenetic factor and to correct itself wherein the gene expression is we are talking. Now, cellular hydration can be seen live by a single drop blood analysis. This is, I think, by now most of you would have seen that it happens. So what is that I'm trying to tell is we all need to channelize our journey of life so that it makes things much more easier for us to move forward. So let us channelize our life, channelize our thoughts, channelize our knowledge, channelize our experience, channelize our expertise, channelize everything in your life, and then with proper discipline, with proper responsibility, and with proper communication skills, with proper planning, we all will be able to do the very best of our life in our journey. So what happens, you need to understand that definitely this is, of course, we have been talking, and Tara has resonated. It is definitely a wonderful water wherein everybody should drink. Start with the lower end of around 500 ml and slowly increase it. And if I'm going to talk about terahertz, the future technology, yes, it's going to be the future technology. Because as a doctor, of course, we are looking at the MRI machines, your CT scans, all will be terahertz resonated machines will come down so that the exposure, the picking up of diseases will be much, much better for us. So we are looking forward, maybe in the next 5-10 years, we should be getting a terahertz X-ray, terahertz MRI, terahertz CT scan. So know yourself first and look for the holistic solution. So know yourself means you should know who you are, basically how your body works. Basically, when you drink the water, what happened? How benefit? How did you benefit? What are the ways you practice? When do you drink water? So all these things, once you know yourself, that is when you'll be able to share. So quest of knowledge is a key to your life, and then read and obtain it. If you, there are a lot of information available, and then our wonderful souls are there out there giving a lot of information on terahertz with Zoom meetings. So do look into it. And of course, information from the credible person, the society plays a very, very important role. And stop looking at cues for the disease from one source or either the products, drugs, or other means. Because many times disease doesn't happen. It's just simple example I'll give you. You are a diabetic, and the doctor has given you a diabetic medication, and you're taking the diabetic medication very regularly. You won't believe, after 5 years you will have some other problem. It can be kidney issues, it can be a blood pressure, it can be a cholesterol issue, it can be a liver issues. It will crop up. The question is, why is that you have been taking treatment for diabetes? That why did the complication happen? This is something you need to understand, that you cannot approach a disease with one single way. Now, this is something very, very important. You need to have multiple ways. That means you need to change your mindset, change your day-to-day life activities, change your exercise schedules. Everything has to be changed. That is when you will be able to get a cure for, not only cure for, you will get a solution for your diseases. Like people who are diabetic. See, if you are eating, see, many of them, once they know diabetic, they'll immediately stop all the sugar related. They will say, I'm drinking only kopi, kopi, te, also, without sugar. All this is there. Then why is that your sugar levels are not controlled? So now you need to understand that it is not sugar just alone is there in the sugar. There are a lot of hidden sugars, I would say, which is there in most of the products. You just go to the any 99 market or Giant or Tesco, you go down, pick up a product, and then you go through the contents. What are the ingredients inside the pack? You will see sugar. How much is sugar? They will say added sugar. So in that way, you need to understand that, for example, and there's another thing, they will say no added sugar. It's fine, no added sugar. But when you go down there, they will put corn syrup would have put there, corn syrup. Corn syrup is basically a sugar. So automatically the sugar is there inside that. So every little bit of it converts into a sugar. That is why even though you are not taking sugar, you still will have a very high blood sugar. Now, very important is whenever you need to handle your sugar, you need to understand that there are a lot of vitamins and minerals which is very, very important, like your zinc, your chromium, then your protein, then your, I would say, water. Like this, there are so many things which is very, very important for your diabetic management, including our omega-3. So like that, when you are able to give your body the particular supportive nutraceuticals, that is when your body also heals from that situation, so that if by chance your sugar levels are around 6.5 or below 7, it's still okay. You don't need to, we are not a machine, wherein your sugar level has to be only 3.5, 4.5, or 5.5 as a standard protocol. No, we don't need to be. We are not machines. So it can vary. But if you can maintain, like very simple example I always give is myself. For the past 15 years, my sugar level has been only 6.5 all the time. My fasting sugar, you take, it will be 6.5, 6.3, 6.5, 6.7. That's it. It has never gone up. So in that way, if you can balance yourself. So what I normally do is the regular discipline, the channelizing of myself with regular exercise is very, very important. So do not look for cues of a disease in a one source. Very, very important. Take responsibility of your life so that you do the groundwork of understanding and stop blaming others for your deficiency. See, this is something we need to understand. Many a times in life, I've been seeing left and right people. They are just waiting to blame, and then they are just waiting to go on complain about others that they are like this, they are like that, they are like this. And it's something which it's like they basic right that they are always correct, but the whole world is wrong. This is what is the mentality of many people are wrong. But today, for us to understand is, we don't have to blame anything to anybody. What we need to understand is, how are we going to adapt to the situation and what better can we do? If we can do something better, just go ahead and do it and move forward. So at the end of the day, it is we who have to balance our journey and then start working. So you need to have a very, very balanced lifestyle. So do not expect too much and don't promise too much also. Life is something so beautiful because everything changes. What you're having today, maybe tomorrow you may not be having it. Today you might have a lot of money, tomorrow you may not have the money. Today you may be having a person whom you are loving, but tomorrow the person may not be there, or maybe they leave you and go. So this is the reality of life. So we need to have a very balanced lifestyle, very balanced thought pattern, so that we are able to move forward in our life without any problem. So we need to have a proper balanced lifestyle. So choose the right channel for your life, be it on a television or a Netflix. If you're going to see all the ghost movies and what happens, your visual picks up that, your brain also picks up, stores that information. So at the end of the day, when you're sleeping also, suddenly you will get scared and suddenly you will think as though the ghost has come down. So you need to be very, very careful in what you're watching on the television, be it a war movie, be it a fighting movie, be it commercial movies, which gives a lot of violence. You have to avoid it. Choose the right water which can pass through your aqua channel. Now, this is where what you can say, okay, now you can talk to your customer and ask, hey, you are drinking water, right? Can it go through aquaporin channel? Then they'll say, what do you mean by aquaporin channel? Then you should tell them, hey, look, then you have a photograph, show them the cell, then show them the aquaporin, and then you tell them, see, this particular terahertz resonated water can go inside the channel. That becomes an easy method to explain to the people that the water, what you're giving them is going through the channel. So isn't that easy for you? So what you need to do is, ABC of life is always be in your channel of understanding, be in your channel of what is it, that happy mode, be in your channel of the game mode, be in the channel of understanding, knowledge, everything. It should be your channel. So you be a prepared fantastic channel, so that the moment people switch you on, they should be able to get the best thing out of whatever you are trying to give them, and then your life will become so beautiful. You need to work on your own channel. So saying that, wish to thank you all for this wonderful time. And then I didn't expect that I'd be talking for 1 hour, but I think it is done. I have spoken for 1 hour. So thank you very much and have a wonderful weekend. Next week is going to be our election. So we are going to hope to get a new government and then hope for a change and hope to channelize your energies for a better government, better administration and better bureaucracy in our country so that we all live a fantastic life. So wishing you all the very best and choose wisely and choose before what exactly you're going to, whom you're going to choose the wise leader. And because this is going to be a future and our country needs a proper, appropriate politicians who can help us to grow along with them and grow the country as well. So all the very best and over to you, Madam Lee. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Doctor. It's amazing. At first, when I look into your topic, channeling of life, and I was wondering in my mind, what channel is that? Wow, it's amazing how you have put up all these channels. Yeah. Channeling your life plays a very important role. Yes, it requires a lot of discipline, dedication, perseverance, focus, wisdom to decide, and appropriate knowledge. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for such a good message for us. Yes, channeling begins every day, and our body has to channel from cells to organs. And doctor said we are just a drop in the ocean, a tiny speck of perishable, channelized to be human from the spirit world. Wow, doctor, you mentioned about the spirit world. Yeah. And yes, water. Water is an integral part of our life and body. Helps our body to heal itself. Wow. You make this word healthy. For us to realize the word heal Thai. Heal yourself. Wow. And yeah, still remember, doctor mentioned what you call the water channel in your body. Anyone can remember? The doctor mentioned, yes, the aquaporin. Yeah, thank you so much, doctor. Wow, it's such a wonderful information, the knowledge that you have bring to us tonight. Yeah, so doctor, it is all the thank you messages from the floor.
So they are channelized their energies into absorbing the information. Now they'll be wondering, what should I channel and how do I move forward? Because that's what the brain is all about. So when we share the information, our brain is very intelligent. Every human being is very intelligent. So what happens? They are picking up the information and they will be thinking, okay, tomorrow I go, how do I talk to the person? Like very simple, as I told you, aquaporin channel is there. So show them the photograph. Automatically they will have to, buy the product, isn't it? Because the moment you say the water, what they drink doesn't cannot penetrate inside the cell, then how? So this is where our water is much better. Something very beautiful.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, doctor. It's amazing. Yes, and I could see we have quite a number of persons here, and then just now earlier I did review the three good news from the company, right? For those who are late to come in, yeah. So just for your information, yes, our Mr. Ken Wong has already bought a bigger office, and they are moving in soon, so that we can have a large meeting hall and also convenience for the terahertz members to bring their friends, to the company if they want to get to know more about this Terra's device and maybe the company's other products. Okay, and then the second is we have opened up these Malay markets. Is more and more of our Malay friends and those from Indonesia, they are joining us in this terahertz water device business. So those who are from the Malay, opening up these Malay markets, you can also get assistance from Encik Mokhtar, right? And I think he has started the Malay Zoom. On I think Wednesday night.
Madam Lee, I need to take leave. So can I take leave because I need to go out? I'm
Okay,
here in the
thank you,
clinic from
doctor.
morning. So I have to
Thank
just go
you.
back home.
Good
Thank you so
night.
much. Have a
you.
wonderful week
Yes.
ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, doctor. And the good news is, yes, it's about the methods of payment. Yes. With our Mr. Ken Wong, he has found various channels for everyone to be able to own a water device. That is, you can purchase the device by paying with your credit card, debit card, and maybe even your this touch and go and other channels. And with this, the person who bought the device, they can pay by installment. This will ease them on their burdens. Okay. So far, be blessed with your testimonies. Anyone from you would like to share any testimonies? We have some more friends around. Is there anyone who would like to share? Oh, okay. Rick Yo is asking what are the name of bank credit. There are more than almost all the banks, and the company is trying to get this the machine for you to swap your credit cards or debit cards, and I think there are almost about 10 banks. Give me a minute. I'll try to find the details. Okay. I've seen that they have put it up. One minute. Oh yeah. Okay, here. Affin Bank, Alliance Bank, M Bank, Citibank, OCBC, HSBC, Public Bank, RHB, UOB, Standard Chartered, and this Aeon, then the e-wallet, Alipay, Boost, GrabPay. Wow, GrabPay. These some of these that I'm not very familiar. This what Atom Air, Mcash, Citel. Wow, Shopee, WeChat Pay, and also your Maybank debit card. Oh yeah, BS, Many of you will be very happy that there are so many channels of payment. Is there a channel where we can voice out our grosses? Many concerning those people, many the. I think Tiki, how about you may have a word with your introducer. Okay. And in the office, the person in charge is, I think, Kelly. Kelly, Miss Kelly. Okay. Anyone who would like to share a testimony? I believe many of us who owns the device and who has maybe giving some water to your friends or relatives, you would have some very good feedback, isn't it? For me here, I've been distributing waters to some these stroke patients, those having dialysis. I have one very young girl. She's 20, about 21, 22. And she suffered from this kidney failure when she was quite young, when she was in her secondary school. And recently I got to know her because somebody introduced, and she has a growth in her stomach. Then because she's from quite a poor family, so we were asked to do some fund collection for her because she has to go through an operation, an emergency. Then now I've been giving her water, and she is very thankful because our terrace water really helps her. And I even told her to spray on her wounds, because she has the wound that after the operation, it doesn't really heal well. So recently, I have been giving her water, and also I told her to spray our terrace water on her wounds. So only last 2 days when I brought some water to her, and I asked her about her wounds. So she was telling me, and the mother was beside her, and they could see that the wounds is closing up. Yeah, thanks to our terrace water. And also there's another stroke patient, which I have been giving him water. And thank God, now he's able to stand up and walk. No, it's so amazing. Is the Hokkien Zoom every Saturday? Oh no. Yu Yi Tong, right? No, we don't have Hokkien Zoom every Saturday. It's just from this director Gigi group. They just put up this Hokkien Zoom in a sudden, in a very short time, we got the notice, and then they conducted this Hokkien Zoom. But the response is very good. Last night we have more than 150 who attended, and there are very good testimonies and sharing from some of the directors and from this Madam Gigi. Kelly may seems okay, but the other is okay. So I think there are some who are interested in Hokkien Zoom. Okay, we will put up this request to our Madam Gigi. She is a very good speaker in Hokkien. And yesterday, some also requested whether they can have the Zoom in Cantonese. In Cantonese. So hopefully, very soon, they'll be sharing in Cantonese. At present, we have Malay, the English, and the Chinese sharing. Okay. So I think can we call it for the night? Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And I hope next week we can have somebody to volunteer to share some testimonies. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Have a good rest. Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you, Teresa. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night, everyone.